Ooh, welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. LeBron James wins again, folks. LeBron James wins again. I tell you guys, I can sit back and not make a video for days, and all you will hear are videos about LeBron. And what's so interesting about it is LeBron's career has been over, basically. I wouldn't say career, but as far as him being, the number one talked about guy in, like, we already know the GOAT debate. That's been over a long time. we can't even take you back to what year it was, but it was a long time ago. But we can say officially, as far as like being the face of the league, his career, that has been over going into the 2020s, right? But there's no food, there's no way to eat, there's no way to make money on YouTube in basically social media unless you talk about a loser. And basically this is why the loser will not go away, because we feel the fire for the loser. So let me explain. The OKC just won the championship. Well, they're not talked about. Who cares about them, right? Imagine if LeBron James had just won the NBA championship. The entire offseason will be about him. Actually, imagine if he was in a championship game playing whoever. It would be just crazy madness. But most of the finals, all we heard was LeBron James. Instead of really OKC, the Pacers, all we heard was about the Lakers and about LeBron James, right? You got to remember, this is why this guy started this podcast in the first place. The AI deepfake podcast that nobody, for some reason, no platforms will call out, because if you call it out, it's just, it's no fun no more. He's not there. Somebody else is writing a script, and they would have to talk really different. But a lot of these other guys' podcasts are deep fakes too. And I'm not trying to say anything AI deep fake, and I'm not trying to say anything's wrong with it, but it is what it is, folks. I mean, why can't we call it out for LeBron James and most of these athletes and people who are stars like Joe Rogan and these people having AI deep fake podcasts? Everybody's like scared to call it out when all the technology is right there. They've already handed it to us, and it's right here. So that's just why I say LeBron. I said LeBron's podcast was deep fake AI, when it first came out. I already said that. So yeah, when Joker won the finals, it was all about LeBron James in the offseason. It was all about LeBron James in the finals. When the Celtics won the championship, who was it about? It was about LeBron James. What's he doing? Where's he going? Who's he getting in the Lakers? So when I tell you guys, in basically the 2020s, right? So what I'm saying is his era is over. His era was the 2010’s. He got stomped out. And he did it wrong. And he got stomped out. He got beat and whooped while doing it wrong. So the only thing that's keeping LeBron James playing and fueling his fire is two things. Well, one, the NBA is so awful in the 2020s that you can't look on the court and be wild, right? You can't look on the court and you be wild. Like, whoa, this is crazy. This is crazy good. This is something great to watch. So the old court play is not keeping up with the off-court soap opera. The off-court soap opera is way ahead of what's going on the court, right? And the thing that's fueling LeBron James to keep playing, and a lot of people are mad because he keeps playing, he keeps saying stupid stuff or whatever like that, but people are covering everything he does and everything he says like he's in the middle of his career or something. This should be an era in the 2020s where these guys, to me, should only be talked about. You guys gotta remember, this guy came in 2003, folks. This is like a nightmare. I mean, this guy is finishing off the NBA. That's what he's basically doing. Since he couldn't win, since he couldn't become an all-time great, doing it the right way, this is what he's doing. And the NBA is cool with it because the NBA is so awful to watch that the NBA rather have this guy steal the headlines, be the headlines, get the headlines to move their league, then their league move itself based on their on-court greatness, right? So this should be an era to where we shouldn't even be talking about a 4-6 loser who did it wrong, right? This should be an era to where we only should be talking about Joker, Giannis, Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, SGA. Let me see. These guys like this. I mean, at the least, Steph Curry. Steph Curry came in. I don't know, guys. When did Steph Curry come in? Like 2011 or something like that. But this is more Steph Curry's era than LeBron James. More of Kevin Durant's era than LeBron James. More Harden's era than LeBron James. You know, but mostly those guys that I just talked about, this is their era, guys. LeBron James has no... This is not his era. The NBA is trash. The NBA is trash. And yeah, we heard about, I think her name is Dawn Staley, you know, talking about the Knicks maybe interested in giving her a head coaching job. Why not, folks? Why not? Why not? They have female officials. They have female assistant head coaches. They got endless female play-by-play from the WNBA. They have these women. They have female NBA analysts. What a joke, man. What a joke compared to the era I grew up in. And it's nothing wrong with women liking basketball, but give me a break, folks. They're always trying to stick women into men's sports. And it's gonna come pretty soon. Oh, they already got women coaches in the NFL. It's just everything is a joke as far as being a man. And, you know, like I said, most of these NBA players are gay with fixed arranged marriages anyway. So there's not going to be any pushback once they start hiring female head coaches for the NBA. There's not going to be any pushback because, like I said, most of these NBA players today are gay as can be, right? So it's coming soon, man. This is your new NBA. It's not even the NBA. I don't even know why they call it the NBA anymore. They just might as well just call it International League. That's what they ought to call it. Call it the International League. I just find it funny, like, you know, they're going to have this new all-star thing where they got the international players versus the NBA players. Like, okay, how long is that going to last? I'm not I'm not for sure because where are you going to get the American players from? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't know, guys. You damn sure ain't gonna have no foundational Americans because a lot of these, you know, American players are first generation. They're not even foundational Americans. But, you know, we'll see what happens, man. They're talking about DeAndre Ayton going to the Suns. It's like, who the hell is, I mean, not to the Suns. He was already in the Suns. Going to the Lakers. It's like, who gives a damn? Who the hell is Andre Ayton? Or DeAndre Ayton, I think that's his name. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? What does he do? He ain't been nothing. He was so awful. They traded this guy to Portland. You kidding me? He ain't did nothing since he left the damn Suns. Give me a break. He's just another guy that the Lakers can't blame. They don't need no center. Please. So you got LeBron James and you got Luka Doncic and you got Rui. That team has all kind of players. The last person they're gonna worry about is a damn center. Center ain't really gonna do ish. For them, no. Maybe for another team, yes. But, you know, imagine you're DeAndre Ayton. You got to get the hell out of the middle, out of the paint. You got to get out of the paint. If LeBron James is playing, you're going to have to get out of the paint. No, I don't know what else to say. We heard about LeBron James. He opted in to $50 million. He Come on, guys. You think he's not going to take $50 million? He's not there to win championships. I've already told you guys. This guy ain't going back to another NBA Finals for what? Who the hell watches the NBA Finals? Who cares about the NBA Finals? Like I said, they're selling you more interest in the league off the damn court than on the court. Who the hell goes to the NBA Finals and for what? Nobody cares about teams winning championships anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch these guys play. I mean, all these guys, look, the NBA signs, seals, and delivers its fate constantly. Constantly. Fake injuries. Okay? One's playing eights, guys getting hurt in playoff games. Guys getting hurt in the first quarter in the game 7. Guys get hurt in, game 6s, game 6s, elimination for another team. We just keep seeing this stuff, man. It's just like, it doesn't stop, man. You know what I mean? The NBA signs its fate because we could be seeing competition instead of guys faking injuries, right? We can see that. Yeah, I'm not scared to call it out. Oh, I'm going to lose money. I'm going to lose views. I'm so scared of AI on YouTube that I got to go along with the script. That's what I told you guys. These YouTube platforms, they have to go with the script, right? So now they're out here, they've been doing this for about a couple weeks now, right? Or ever since the NBA Finals ended, right? They got to keep you on script. Whether it's the, little YouTubers trying to eat, or it's, ex-NBA players, or it's ESPN, Fox, keeping you on script, asking why these players keep getting hurt. Why they keep getting hurt? Because that's part of the script, dummy. A lot of people, they don't understand the script. And, how could you say that? How could he was in pain? I saw this pop. It's part of the script, guys. Just part of the script. Everybody will play a part in it, from the doctors to everybody on the damn court. Like, they'll play this part of the script where they're telling you these guys are making this kind of money. But when they retire, they have to get a job like you and me, folks. It's not like these guys are making $300,000 a year. These guys have been making tens of millions a year for years. For 10 to 15 to 20 years. But when they retire, they have to go get a job like me and you folks. Oh, I hate myself for not going with the NBA script. But LeBron James, this is what this guy is. So now, after he opts in the same damn day, what happens? He's talking about requesting a trade if he don't like what the Lakers are going to put on the table. Bro, your career is over. I don't know. Like, why is it bad? Like, come on, man. This is the only reason why this guy keeps playing. Because they keep covering this guy like he means anything to the NBA. His career is over, folks. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. This is why he won't go away. He don't deserve $5 million at this point. And the only reason why he's getting $50 million this year is not because he's a great player this year, or he's this, he's that. It's because he's the entertainment for the NBA. That's it. The NBA goes away without LeBron James. It goes away. He's only here. They have to find who is going to be the next Bozo the Clown. And no, he's not getting $50 million this year. And no, he doesn't have $1 billion, folks. He don't. You don't have $1 billion. If you believe that, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're just like these guys when they retire and they got to go get a job like you and me. You believe these guys actually made this kind of money because you're not well. This is entertainment, folks. This is entertainment. And it's nothing that I make up. It's the way these guys go about their business after they retire. They're jockeying and fighting for a job on, sports networks and, ESPNs, and have to get coaching jobs. And these guys have to pay their bills because they never made this kind of money that we were told. They never made this kind of money. To me, I think it's pretty sad that, they actually lied to people, the NBA, and say these guys make this kind of money. and then they don't have the money. They don't have the money later on. It's kind of like that thing with what was his name? Not Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker. You ever seen this Antoine Walker lookalike? It to me, it's not even a lookalike because it's not Antoine Walker. They just threw some fat dude up there and said this is Antoine Walker, and he went broke. You want me to come on, man? Antoine Walker never acted like that, sounded like that. You can lie and just say he got fat, but that's not Antoine Walker, man. Come on, y'all can do better. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah, LeBron James never made $1 billion. Like I said, he would have quit. He would have got off the court a long time ago. He would have got off the court a long time. Oh boy, what like I said, he now he's talking about a trade again. Who cares? Who cares though? Your career, your career is over. You win 4-6. All these guys who did it right, they're about. I think most of them are retired. They split your head open with you and your super teams. They whoop the hell out of you. You and your super teams, and you're still out of the court running around trying to find out what the hell happened. Well, what the hell happened was you cheated and you did it the wrong way. Now you're in the 2020s, destroying the NBA in the 2020s. In destroying these guys' careers. Meanwhile, most of these international players, they just go back home. They don't want none of this. They just go back home. Your Greek freaks and, your jokers, they don't care about this, folks. They don't care about this NBA. They're just here to collect this, paycheck and move on. They don't care. They don't want to be the center of attention. They're not going to fight a bozo the clown who did it wrong, who is hated by the fan base. They're not going to try to get the headlines from him. But if he don't bring you the headlines, there's no headlines, folks. Nobody's interested in watching this game. And not because I'm hating on the players, it's because of the style of basketball they play. It's boring as hell. And this is why they had to start this in past eras to shake something up that shouldn't even be shooken up. There's a difference between, you want to have a debate between, past eras. That's fine. But you can't because nobody watches this trash today. So what are you really debating? And you got to say a lot of it is because the United States is not what it used to be. It's not. I'm just being real, man. The United States is not what the United States culture is not what it used to be. And to me, some of that culture, it ain't what it used to be, is because it just flooded with people, that basically destroyed American culture. And I'm not trying to say, immigrants have made up a big part of American culture. No doubt about that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to blame it totally on, that, but I'm talking about the saturation, of immigrants. The saturation. That's what I'm talking about. It's too saturated. So it to me, it's no culture in the United States. Like I see, I never seen this, and I might be wrong, but I saw SGA representing his Canadian flag after he won. This is the saturation of it. The NBA isn't in Canada, but he loves Canada so much he'll represent it. He don't like, he won't wave the American flag because, the United States flag, because he's a United States citizen, and it gave him the opportunity to get where he's at today. No, he'll put up the Canadian flag, even though the Canadian flag didn't bring him this championship, didn't bring him this money, and all this stuff that he had to do to get where he is. What people say, oh man, this is, the United States is a land of immigrants. Well, so is Canada. So it's just about every country you go to. So don't try to make it about the United States. I'm just saying that's the flag you should be waving. Canada didn't give you no championship. Most of these international players are just saturated in here for cheap labor. That's all it is. They're just not going to tell you that because they don't want you to. The league will tank as far as value. They want to keep the value up of the league. When the league's value is not good, guys. No, they keep trying to tell you that all these networks got these contracts that are billions of dollars, but yet nobody's watching the NBA. That makes no sense. I can just tell you anything. But good for you. If you're going to believe it, good for you. I'm not going to believe it. Like I said, this is the only league, everything surrounding the NBA, nobody can afford to pay for it no more. They can't pay for good analysts no more. They got rid of all the good analysts. They won't even hire good play-by-play. They'll bring in, WNBA players or women to do the play-by-play because they can't afford good ones. And you saw ESPN. They've been getting rid of good analysts and good people for years, man. They can't afford it. You look at the Odd Couple. They had to get rid of Chris Broussard because they can't afford to pay him on both shows. You remember First Things First? They used to have I forget her name. She was on there. They had to get rid of her as a moderator. They couldn't afford her. They'll bring you some fake storylines, because you'll believe that it really happened because they can't afford these people, man. TNT, they couldn't afford to do what they did. So, they can afford to keep buying the NBA because nobody's watching these games, folks. For whatever money they're trying to tell you that they're worth, it's a joke. That the NBA's worth, it's a joke. And what they're paying, or whatever like that to acquire the NBA, it's a complete joke. It's a complete joke. Maybe they tell this nonsense to the, so the advertisers will so they can keep their value up on their networks for the advertisers. Maybe it's that. I'm not for sure, but nobody's watching. How can you make money on something that nobody is even watching? How can you advertise on your channel for something nobody is even watching? That doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. And nobody even watches. What was it, the All-Star game? Remember, that's the least watched of all time now, the All-Star games. So this is what you got, man. Bronny and expiring LeBron James. These are the people that's moving the league. These are the people who's moving the league. Not your jokers, not your SGAs, not your Anthony Edwards, your Greek freaks. These guys, this is their era, guys. We're not supposed to be hearing a peep from or out of LeBron James. Nothing. All the headlines are supposed to be about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. What is this? They're talking about trading Jaylen Brown. And I'm like, what? You gave this dude all this money and he can't carry this team, while this guy is out, while Tatum is out? You're going to trade Porzingis. You're going to get rid of Holiday just because the one guy went down? That doesn't make any sense. So you need two superstars to even make the playoffs. The NBA is in shambles, man. The NBA is in shambles. And like I said, man, it's a joke. All this talk should be about, what can they do for Anthony Edwards? Instead, they signed Julius Randle. Oh, goodness, man. This is what you got? You got Julius. So is Rudy Gobert going to get any better? Conley, is he going to get any better? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, to me, you could have put Kevin Durant at least they have another shooter. You could have brought Kevin Durant to Minnesota and made it exciting right there. I don't know why they didn't do that. You could have did a lot of stuff in this offseason. But, like I said, the whole offseason will be about LeBron James. You could have brought Joker, some kind of help. What is that, folks? And it's just no coincidence. Don't worry about it. OKC ain't about to win no back-to-back championship. It ain't fixed to happen. No, like I told you, no team is going to win back-to-back as long as LeBron James is playing because it'll make him look even worse. Curry, he ain't about to win another championship with LeBron James playing. So basically, the league doesn't care about nothing. All they care about is, I think they know this, folks. If you don't have some kind of, and it's just like this on any league. You gotta have a soap opera, but I'm just saying they know that their league is so awful, and nobody cares about these players, and nobody cares about their style of play, that they just got to bring this circus from LeBron James and his son. That's what it's a joke, man. The NBA is basically a joke. You don't have real analysts. These guys are just reading could you imagine them writing a script for the whole year, and that's what the script is going to be? And we done heard about this gambling thing now. So one of these players is in the NBA is getting accused of gambling. So basically what they're trying to tell you is that throwing it right in your face. Come on, man. These players, this league been throwing games. It's a league thing. It's a league thing. You could just look at what's going on and the way it goes down. The league is throwing games. Just like when, that ref, he went to what was it, Donahue or something like that? He went to jail, whatever. He came out with a book. He said it was mostly all the referees. So the NBA was in on it, throwing games. And now, that's all the NBA was trying to tell you back then. And now basically the NBA is in on it with gambling. And I'll try to tell you guys, they winning in Vegas. You just don't see the stuff that you see today, you didn't see back then. All the weird stuff that's going on in the league today, as far as the way the games go down, you never seen that stuff back then. You never see teams just, they just forget how to play. That's what you see today. Look at some of these series. Ain't no way you would have thought that the Lakers would have got beat 3-1. And you got to remember what these guys are on TV for, to try to convince you that this team is going to win, this over and under, this and that, this, on ESPN, DraftKings that is to get you to be dumb. It's to get you to be dumb enough to go with what these people are going to tell you, because that basically they already know the outcome, but they're going to tell you something different. They're not betting away. They're telling you. You're just an idiot. You don't know what entertainment purposes means. So yeah, look at the way some of this stuff goes down. You can look at some of these series last year, all these fake injuries. You can look at the way these teams got beat. You can look at the way, these players just forget how to play basketball in some of these series. All this stuff, these teams upsetting this team, all this stuff, folks. Who got all these prop bets right? And you never know who's winning. You never know these people. You never know. You never know unless they tell you. It's like they're trying to tell you this one rogue incident with this, I forget his name. Oh, goodness. But yeah, they're trying to just act like this is some rogue incident, just like the Donahue thing. But when he came out of jail, he was like, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what. So this is where the NBA is, folks. It's just a bunch of trash. And this is why I'm not going to put out videos every day, because it's not worth it. It's just like, dudes run back to, who can tattletale the most and report this, this story that means nothing. It just most of the stories that's getting reported, it's just making NBA worse. We're not talking about the players, the great players of well, if you want to say they're great, the players of the 2020s that should be talked about, because this is their era. Imagine LeBron James in the 2000s not even being talked about. It was this other guys putting him to the sideline, and he's not the talk of the NBA or the 2010’s. Well, this is what it is now, folks. This guy is still talked about ad nauseum for doing everything right, and everybody has to worry about what he's going to do. Where's he going to go? For what, though? His career is over, though. He did it wrong.